Economic and social equality. I don't know really what that means, but maybe you could tell me.
Interesting. Yeah, it means that like all people kind of get the same opportunities.
Like Cuba, or like Venezuela,
No, not like Cuba or Venezuela.
or like North Korea,
No, not like.
or like how the Soviet Union did it, right?
No, I'd like you to stop like interrupting me. I think that all those examples of like capitalist systems are ones that aren't.
The Soviet Union was not a capitalist system.
Yes, I know. And Venezuela is not a socialist system.
Sure it is. They nationalized their oil and gas reserves. They have nationalized healthcare, nationalized schooling. The government owns the means of production. How is it not a socialist country?
Because because of the history of U.S. interference, socialism cannot be like enacted as it should be.
It also sort of functions under the guise of socialism. I think a lot of the
Venezuela is still corrupt as fuck.
Yeah, but can you show me any socialist country that works?
Yeah, most of Europe.
So maybe Norway, Sweden, or Finland?
Yeah.
But they're more economically free than America.
How so?
On the World Economic Freedom Index, they're ranked higher than America.
And so what does that like mean?
So lower taxes, less regulation. So they're not, I wouldn't consider them to be socialist countries.
Charlie wastes no time striking at the core. When asked about economic and social equality, he immediately challenges the idea with examples like Cuba, Venezuela, and North Korea. His opponent pushes back, but Charlie dismantles the denial by naming nationalized industries and government control. The exchange heats up fast as he presses the question, can they show even one socialist country that actually works? With the stage set, the conversation takes off with sharp tension from the very start.
They provide healthcare for all these citizens.
So does Cuba. How does that work?
I'm sure.
Well, because they're like
Norway, Sweden, Finland also has a homogenous population.
I want to know about this.
yeah,
Why do
so-
you think? Why is that sort of thing
Yeah.
promoted?
Because it's
that
6 to 7
you need
million people.
They need a homogenized society.
You don't need it.
But what is? I don't
Yeah,
even
can
know
you
the
Because they have
rationale.
low rates of immigration.
Can you explain to me why?
And so they
like,
have less people coming in their country every year that need Medicaid equivalent type social programs.
Can you explain to me why
They have the strictest immigration policies in Europe, in Norway, Sweden, Finland, and they don't pay for a national military. 70 to 80% tax rates for the highest earners, of which I oppose completely. Sweden has full school choice, which I'm sure you support, right?
I don't.
Oh, okay, but Sweden has full school choice.
I mean,
Sweden's
if all,
also ranked higher on
if
the
all
world.
schools are funded equally, then yeah, I would support school choice. But the fact is that schools in like richer areas have better funding and
So-
thus give people
but-
better education, as opposed to poorer areas, and thus poor people who can't afford to like choose that rich school, who can't commute, who can't like afford the tuition, are not going to be able to get that level of education.
So why is it that we've spent more on education in the last 60 years federally, but our test scores have gotten worse? Why do you think?
When Europe is offered as proof of socialism's success, Charlie counters with cold data, pointing out that nations like Norway and Sweden rank higher than America in economic freedom. He flips the argument, showing they thrive not because of socialism but because of free markets, school choice, and lower regulation. The opponent pushes back on funding inequalities, yet Charlie corners them by questioning why decades of soaring education spending have only led to failing test scores. The debate sharpens into facts versus feelings.
Because testing is not a measure of.
How about graduation rates? I mean, any metric you use, our schools have gotten worse over the last 50
So
years.
funding the
Where have
test is
they
going to
got-
fix that?
like
I'm sorry?
Where have they gotten?
Baltimore, there are 7 schools in inner city Baltimore where they can't find one
Probably
kid in
systematic
8th grade.
racism.
Oh, so wait, so do you think America's more racist today than it was in the 1960s?
In some levels, yeah.
Really? You think America's more racist today than it was in the 1960s?
I
It's
think.
still more racist than it should be.
I mean, yeah, I want to say like, I think like net racism.
I mean,
Do you want it to be more racist?
Yeah,
'Cause that's
but
what
like-
it seems
no, it's not. Actually, I think we're significantly less racist, so you can't blame racism
just
for why
'cause
these
something's
communities are
less
not
doesn't
doing
mean
well.
it's
Really? Could
No,
you not blame
significantly
like?
less.
Could you not blame,
What
for
is your
example?
race metric?
Well, let me look. Okay, so in the 1960s, blacks weren't allowed in the National Basketball Association. In the 1960s, the Civil Rights Act hadn't been passed until 1965. In the 1960s, blacks were not allowed to go to the same schools as whites. So, like, that's my metric. So we passed the Civil Rights Act in
I think those are
1965.
just kind of anecdotal.
Yeah.
Oh, how about this? We had a black president elected twice in 2008 and 2012.
Oh man, so since a black president was elected, we fixed racism,
we
right?
quintupled. No, we haven't finished racism. We're significantly less racist. So the talking point of the far left is that the inequities that the black community and minority communities are experiencing is because of systemic racism. In order for that argument to be true, America would have had the same sort of amount of racism over the last 60 years, or gotten more racist. Any sort of logical analysis of history would show we're significantly less racist today than they were in the 1960s. So then what is it?
Any level of racism is still racism, dude.
I think there's individual racism, but the idea that there's widespread systemic racism.
The clash shifts to race and history. The opponent argues America is more racist now than in the 1960s, but Charlie pounces on the claim, citing civil rights progress, integrated schools, and even the election of a black president. His narration is relentless. If racism were truly worsening, how does history not prove the opposite? He dismantles the systemic racism line by insisting America has grown less racist, turning the left's talking point into a logical contradiction on the spot.
Racism does not exist.
Okay, what about, okay, so here's an example. You guys want to, okay, so, up until probably the mid-70s, like, neighborhoods could choose not to sell homes to black people. That's why a lot of black people live in, like, certain, like, parts of town, you would say. And those are also generally the parts of town that have, like, underfunded schools and stuff like that.
So the Asian community went through the exact same type of discrimination, yet the Asian community is the richest community per race in America.
So are you implying something about the black community?
No, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying the Asian community did not have a series of social welfare programs designed at them, such as federal welfare systems, broken public schools. The Asian community were one of the poorest communities in the 1940s. Now they are the richest.
Pressed for proof, the opponent raises housing discrimination and underfunded schools. But Charlie seizes the example, pointing out the Asian community faced the same discrimination yet rose to become the wealthiest per capita in America without targeted welfare programs. His argument cuts deep. He blames broken social policies and government dependence, not racism, for trapping black communities in cycles of poverty. The crowd can sense it. He's not just countering, he's flipping the narrative entirely.
Community per race in America. How did that happen?
So you're saying black people are...
They were taking advantage. Black people are poor because of the Democrat Party who got them addicted to government benefits, stuck them in clustered urban areas, put them in broken schools,
Is that the
started a war
Democratic
on
Party
police.
did all of that?
Yes, show me one urban city where there's a Republican mayor. Show me one urban area where there's more Republican congressmen than Democrat congressmen.
Like currently?
Yes, or even the last 50 years. It's Democrats that run the urban cities. Oakland,
Yeah,
Portland,
thank fuck.
Chicago, Philadelphia. But these are the most, so you said thankful, but these are the worst parts of America. The most murderous, the most bankrupt, the most hopeless are all run by Democrats.
Yeah, but there's no way you can like make some sort of causation if there's no sort of control for that.
Yeah.
You can't
Well, sure-
like say it
sure
would
you
be
can.
worse without a Republican. No, there's no way you can make that sort of
listen,
inference.
I'm
It's
glad-
impossible.
so-
Charlie goes on the offensive, tying poverty and urban decay directly to Democrat-controlled cities. From Oakland to Chicago, he paints a grim picture of violence, bankruptcy, and failure under decades of single-party rule. His opponent resists, arguing causation can't be proven, but Charlie won't let up, citing data that Republican-led states show lower poverty, better schools, and stronger economies. The tension rises as he demands answers, while the opponent dodges and stalls. The contrast couldn't be sharper.
You just can't make that inference.
Okay,
You
so
don't
when-
have data for it. I'm sorry.
yeah, so the
Just
when-
stop trying to make shit
Okay, so,
up.
okay, can I give you examples?
No.
No? Oh, you don't want facts?
They're not
Do facts.
facts.
Do facts bother you?
No.
Okay, so
You
when,
are gonna make up
so
fake facts.
Republicans run cities, municipalities, and counties, have much lower levels of poverty over 30 years, better run schools, more likely to balance their budget, much more business competitive.
That could be cool.
9 out
Not
of 9 out of 10 of the most business competitive states in America are all run by Republican governors. And Republican. Yeah, it is actually.
I mean, that doesn't-
Utah, Nevada, Arizona.
That doesn't necessarily have any sort of relevance to your point.
So why would you say that the broken inner cities in America all have Democrat mayors, and the best run states all have Republican governors? Why would you say that?
I would say
that's the case?
possibly because people see that Democratic mayors and Democratic government officials can fix the broken system.
Have Democrats fixed anything in the last 60 years?
No, because
no, you're right. Okay.
Because we've had a Republican-controlled Congress.
No, we've had a
Congress-
Democrat-controlled president from 2008 to
The
2016.
president does not have like ultimate power over
No,
the
you're right.
United
Obama
States.
controlled the House and the Senate, passed the health care bill that destroyed 1/6 of our economy, borrowed trillions of dollars, raised taxes, grew government, and then...
The debate escalates as Charlie unloads examples of Republican governance outperforming Democrat strongholds. From Utah to Arizona, he highlights stronger budgets, competitiveness, and growth. When pressed on inner-city chaos, His opponent insists Democrats are trying to fix the system, but Charlie shoots back with a devastating line, decades of Democrat leadership, yet nothing is fixed. The heat rises as Obama's presidency enters the mix, and Charlie dismantles the legacy of Obamacare as destructive overreach.
Republicans took back the House of Representatives and
Honestly,
eventually
I don't know why you're so upset when you still have a ton of money, dude.
What do you mean?
I mean, you are.
I'm not upset. You're the one that just swore. I'm actually quite happy and thankful I live in the greatest country ever to exist.
Yeah, excuse me for swearing. I feel like this entire get-up is just you afraid of losing your economic and like white male privilege.
Wait, what privilege do I have as a white person?
Sunburn.
No, seriously.
He's just ignorant.
Honestly,
No.
it was nice to meet you. Can I take your hand?
Yeah, but can you
Can I
explain
take
to
your
me?
hand? It was nice to meet you. I'd like you to think about the way your actions affect other people, not just the white male people in this country, but everybody in this country.
What does being a white person have to do about anything?
I actually have a question.
Yeah, can someone explain to me what white privilege is?
Can I ask you a question?
They haven't talked about Asian privilege yet.
Yeah, Asian privilege, because Asians in America actually are richer on average than whites in America. And so are Indian Americans.
The discussion explodes into accusations of privilege. The opponent throws the white male privilege card, but Charlie doesn't flinch. He demands specifics. What privilege does he supposedly hold? None are offered. Instead, Charlie flips the argument entirely, asking why Asians and Indian Americans outperform whites if privilege is real. The audience feels the shift. His final challenge lands with force, leaving the claim of privilege exposed as empty rhetoric. The debate closes with Charlie holding the stronger ground.